I'm back! It's me, Brenda, with Happy Healthy Homemade, and today I'm going to show you my gluten-free noodle stash. Okay, so we're going to start over here at a noodle that everyone recognizes. It is the noodle that they use in Vietnamese pho. There are all kinds of these on the market. This one is from Save On Foods. Honestly, it's not my favorite, but Save On Foods is very convenient for me. I would not get the ones from Whole Foods because they're way overpriced. The ingredients on this one are rice flour and water. Most Vietnamese pho is gluten-free, but the one ingredient to look out for in a lot of rice noodles that are Korean or Vietnamese or Chinese is wheat starch. You want to check the label carefully to make sure that there is no wheat starch, because wheat starch definitely presents a risk of cross-contamination with gluten. So this one is rice flour and water. My favorite brand in Canada is one that has a little panda on it, and it comes in a red package and a green package. You can order that online through Instacart and get it from Walmart. But like I said, this one is from Save On Foods. And this is another one that I found at T&T, which is a local Chinese market. Again, the ingredients are just rice flour and water. I love to use these for both soups and stir fries. If you're gonna use it for a stir fry, I recommend soaking it first to make sure it's thoroughly soft, and then straining it and throwing it directly in your stir fry pan once it's soft. It'll take less than a minute to finish. For soups, you gotta watch the timer really quickly because these finish up in just a couple minutes, and as soon as they're ready, I pull them out of the hot water and put them in a bowl, and then I ladle the hot broth on top. Moving right along, this is another noodle I was very excited to see at T&T. This is a round rice noodle used in this dish, or the name of this dish in Vietnamese, I'm actually not quite sure. It's bún bò Huế, and when I've seen it in restaurants, it's with beef in a red soup. My friend actually told me the way to judge a good Vietnamese pho restaurant is by this dish. So this is, again, a round rice noodle, and the only ingredients here are rice, salt, and water. So I can't wait to try this noodle in a rich, soupy broth. I love that there are different texture options between the flat rice noodle that you typically find in a pho and this one, the bún bò Huế. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But I just love a chewy, thick, round noodle, and I really hope this gets us there. Next is a sweet potato noodle. So I love sweet potato noodles. They have a very different texture than the rice-based noodles. And sweet potato noodles are very popular in both Korean and Chinese cooking. I remember growing up seeing them in a lot of braises added to the braise and the broth at the end of the dish. There's a lot of cold preparations for these as well. So this one is one that I love to see in hot pot, and I actually mixed into a cold noodle salad recently. It is a wide, sweet potato noodle. This one actually says extra wide. The ingredients here are sweet potato starch, and there's a little caveat, it contains naturally occurring sulfites and water. The cooking instructions on this say to soak for 15 minutes and then boil for 15 minutes. That is not enough time for this brand of noodle. So you do sometimes have to follow the directions, but then play around with the cooking time to get the right texture. So again, I used these in a cold noodle salad this week. There is a heat wave here in Vancouver, so it was the perfect thing to add a little bit of chew and starch to a cold salad. This is another sweet potato noodle. It's thinner and flatter, and the ingredients here are, again, sweet potato starch and water. It's just a slightly different format. These are flat, so they're not typically the ones you see in a dish like japchae, but I do like to have these at the end of a braise, and I have yet to try something more like a cold dish with them, but I'm sure they'll be great. Just a thinner version of the wide, flat noodles. A different style of noodle that I have here is the rice ramen noodle. I love this brand of rice ramen. It's by Lotus Foods. You can actually buy their rice ramen by the box online, and it's way cheaper either online or at Costco than it is at Whole Foods. So highly recommend you check them out there. I think this is their strongest product, the rice ramen. It comes in these little pucks or cakes, and usually I like to have 1.5 pucks for myself per meal. This is a great gluten-free replacement for any time that your dish calls for either a ramen noodle or some type of egg noodle. This product is actually egg-free. The only ingredients are brown rice flour and organic millet. The only thing to really watch out for with this particular noodle is the cook time is very sensitive. So you need to watch the clock like a hawk to get the right texture of these. But we found that these are very good in both a cold noodle salad and in a soup, as long as you follow the directions and really use your timer. Now, coming in for the home stretch, I've got some great Western style noodles. One of them is a linguine by the brand Pastificio Lucio Garofalo. I'm probably butchering that name, but this is a brand that you can get in Canada at Whole Foods. The ingredients are corn flour, brown rice flour, potato starch, quinoa flour, stabilizer, mono, E471 mono and diglycerides of fatty acids, may contain soybeans and lupin traces. Okay, good to know. Anyway, it's a linguine. I would make it with some kind of maybe tomato-based sauce or a butter and white wine sauce. You could probably make like a San Francisco style garlic noodle with this. Really versatile linguine. I'd say it doesn't do really well in soups, so I would have it more as like a dry noodle dish. But yeah, really great classic linguine. The brand of pasta that I really loved that was available in the States that is not widely available in Canada is actually Jovial. They had a great box packaging that was completely recyclable and compostable. I believe the window pane on it was compostable. I would show that, but we don't have it available here. Another gluten-free pasta here is this brand Rumo. I have two from them. The penne and the fusilli. Love to have these on hand for an easy pasta night, or maybe you could do like a mac and cheese with a gluten-free roux, or just melt some cheese in it. So the fusilli is made of, it says rice and corn, so wholemeal rice, yellow corn, white corn, rice, potato starch, emulsifier, mono and diglycerides of fatty acids of vegetable origin. So that was the fusilli. And for the penne, we have chickpea flour, wholemeal rice, yellow maize, white maize, rice, maize fiber, potato starch, emulsifier, mono and diglycerides of fatty acids of vegetable origin. So two great options for Western style pastas. So that concludes my gluten-free noodle stash. If you have any questions or you'd like to see any specific recipes or preparations, make sure you leave a comment below. And don't forget to do the YouTube things. Smash the like button, ring the bell, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy!